The LOS is explain an interest rate as the sum of a real risk-free rate and premiums that compensate investors for bearing distinct types of risk. Okay, so an interest rate can be looked at as the real risk-free interest rate plus an inflation premium. If I'm going to tie up my money for some period of time and get it back in the future, there may be inflation, so I may need to add an inflation premium to the interest rate. Plus a default risk premium. If there's some chance that in the future I don't get my money back, well, that's a default risk premium. Liquidity premium. If there's some chance that I can't sell my investment or get out of, my money's tied up and there's no liquidity, then there'd be a type of liquidity premium. We see that sometimes with hedge funds. Plus a maturity premium. Again, if the longer that I go out, further in time, more risk for inflation, etc. So there's a maturity premium. The longer that I need to wait to get my money back, sometimes that results in a premium. So one thing to look at when we're also talking about that real risk-free rate, I put this in, 1 plus the real interest rate, and you'll see this later on in economics, equals 1 plus the nominal interest rate divided by 1 plus the inflation rate. So approximately, often we just do a quick approximation, the real interest rate equals the nominal interest rate minus the inflation rate. So you can just spin the algebra there. The nominal interest rate equals the real interest rate plus the inflation. So I just have a little example here again. Say the nominal interest rate is 3%, inflation is 2%. Well, if we just did the quick and dirty approximation, we'd say, the approximate real interest rate is 3 minus 2 equals 1, which is the nominal interest rate minus the inflation rate, okay? But if we do the formula properly, as per the CFA, 1 plus the real interest rate equals 1 plus the nominal over 1 plus the inflation rate, we see 1 plus real equals 1.03 divided by 102. So the real equals 1.0098 minus 1, and so it's 0.98039%. It's a little bit less than the 1. So we need to be careful that in some questions we need to be very precise. We don't use the approximation. I just threw that in. That's a little bit extra for this LOS, but we're going to see it a number of times throughout the CFA, so I thought this was a good place to include it as well. Thank you.